Screaming, where are they, where are they? And he's like, why can't you save my daddy? Why is no one here?
When Karen Banos called 911, she was confident an ambulance would arrive right away to help her 51-year-old husband, Michael Davis, who had suddenly collapsed.
I was standing right here on the street waiting to see if there would be the paramedics. I was very, very anxious, and I kept running from the house to the street, back to the house, back to the street.
She knew the LA City Fire Department was on the way, but as the clock kept on ticking, minute after minute after minute, still no ambulance. Panic set in for Karen and her 9-year-old son.
My son was screaming, where are they, where are they? He kept like running through the house, and he's like, where is no one here?
I was shocked at how long it took.
Neighbor Phyllis Patterson was with the family when the paramedics finally arrived. They say it took approximately 15 minutes. That's right, 15 minutes to get emergency help.
One of them said to me, I'm so sorry. And I said, why did it take so long? And they said, well, we had to come from a different station.
I'm just constantly wondering if it would have been faster, if it would have been a different outcome.
Michael died waiting for that ambulance. He had suffered a heart attack.
I'm constantly thinking about it. Should I have done something different? Should I have taken him myself to the hospital?
Simply apply a dose of this natural darkening shampoo, just like a normal shampoo, and instantly transform your gray and...
It happens every day. You guys will never hear about it. We don't go public with it, but it's on a constant basis. Our average response time should be anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes. 10 minutes, you're lucky. 15 is common, and 20 is going to be the norm.
Fox 11 News spent 3 months interviewing LAFD paramedics. Some went on camera but asked us to protect their identity for fear of retaliation. Others became background sources providing crucial information. They all say the public needs to know the truth.
Truth is, you don't have the ambulance service, the EMS service that you think you have. Ambulances are coming from greater and greater distances. It's taking longer and longer to get to your emergency. The longer it takes, the less your chance of a good outcome are.
The LA Fire Department serves the second largest city in the nation with nearly 4 million people. That's not including the large number of tourists. The department has 106 fire stations, some responding up to 30 calls in a 24-hour shift.
Our staffing levels have decreased over the years. Our call volume has more than doubled. Our number of fire stations has not increased.
There are a total of 8 fire stations that do not have ambulances because they used to be low-call generating stations. But paramedics say that's no longer the case. They insist ambulances are needed because
paramedics on the fire engine don't carry narcotics, and they're not allowed to do certain procedures. They have to wait until an additional resource with 2 paramedics shows up. So they're very limited in what they're allowed to do.
This right here is a dispatch map of the city of Los Angeles. Each little section is a fire station district. The red means the station does not have an ambulance available. These maps are of different times during the week. Take a look at this one.
This is in August. You had 0 at 4 p.m. Literally 0.
It's overwhelming to look at the red.
It's like that throughout the day, most of the day, every day. So then if there's a call or an emergency that happens in that district, you start looking at the next neighboring district and the next closest one. And as the red spreads on the map, it's further and further for the ambulance to come to you. This is a call in South Central Los Angeles, and at 1:47 p.m., the paramedic ambulance is coming from Bel Air. That's the closest.
How long will that take?
Probably about 25 minutes or 30.
The heart attack, the stroke, the traffic accident, truly, truly life-changing, family-changing events. Minutes matter. I mean, literal minutes.
Paramedic from Hollywood. That's the closest on a cardiac arrest.
How long will this take?
This will take greater than 20 minutes from Hollywood. 6:13 p.m. You can imagine the traffic.
That person could die.
They probably did. If that ambulance is not available or it's coming from too far away, you just don't have a very good chance.
At hospitals, you will often see several ambulances parked outside the emergency room. Paramedics cannot leave until the patient they transported has been admitted. And with hospitals being understaffed, paramedics could be stuck there for hours.
That's a pretty scary thing to think, that they don't have the resource to get an ambulance here.
When Isabel Ortiz and Ariel Perez called 911, 4-year-old Mason was very sick.
I've never heard a child cry like that in my life. He sounded like a wounded animal.
We call 911. We tell them, hey, like, we don't know what to do. He's shaking, he's sweating, he's screaming and crying.
An LAFD fire engine arrived within minutes, but the ambulance was responding to an emergency in a different district.
When the ambulance didn't show up, what was your reaction?
Where's the rest of the crew? Where's the ambulance? Where's the transportation?
In the end, Ariel and Isabel drove Mason to the hospital themselves. He's fine now, but it was a terrifying experience for his loved ones.
Who do I call if I can't call 911 for help?
We need to be better.
Chief Kristen Crowley knows firsthand what LAFD paramedics are going through. She is the first paramedic to hold the office of fire chief in the 136-year history of the department.
We're doing deep dives in regard to our response times.
On the LAFD website, the average response time for critical ALS, such as cardiac arrest, is 6 minutes and 14 seconds. According to Chief Crowley,
there's about 1.2% of the time where it would be an extended response time of something like you said of over 15 minutes. So with those anomalies, that's where we do a deep dive to ensure that we understand why it happened and what are the solutions moving forward.
Isn't the bottom line what you really need are more ambulances, more fire stations, more personnel?
You are spot on, and I agree holistically when it comes to the lived experiences of our people.
Chief Crowley says the LAFD currently has 5 fire academies this fiscal year, and she's asking for an additional 5. Chief Crowley is also looking at the possibility of emergency hire paramedics to replace 300 personnel retiring between now and December.
As I like to say, build our bench so that we can get through this next big push of retirements.
Why is it important for you to share your story?
I want people to know how long it took for them to come. So maybe if someone hears that more people actually complain and that the change is being made, that there's more fire stations, more access, just more help, because it felt really, really helpless that day.
What can the citizens do? They need to press their city council members and let them know this is not acceptable.
What can we expect if this continues?
People are going to die.
Our investigation into the Los Angeles Fire Department will continue. Our next segment, we're taking a look at the history that led to this problem and the department's lack of medical supplies. Paramedics are telling us they sometimes don't have basic supplies to operate on a daily basis.
So clearly the chief says this is very rare. The whistleblowers you're talking to say not so rare.
Not so rare.
They want more ambulances. How many more ambulances did they say that they need?
Well, they have 8 stations without any ambulances, right? So they'd like to at least have 1 ambulance at each fire station. In the best case scenario, 2 ambulances at each station, because our population is, just growing, and they don't have enough personnel. They don't have enough equipment, enough ambulances. And another problem, too, is that too many people are calling 911. They're calling 911 for things you really shouldn't call for. And so that ties up all of the paramedics. And going to the hospitals, that is, just the hospitals are overwhelmed, too.
And what about the recruitment process? Because you would think that people would be lining up for a job like this.
That's what I thought, too. But the way it was explained to me is that a lot of people want to get into the LAFD department because they think it's great. We're going to be fighting all these fires. But the majority of the calls, medical. And that takes a lot of work. You're out there dealing with the homelessness issue. You're dealing with a lot of sick people. And, it's not really what they wanted to do.
Topping this week's